Hey, good morning to you. Yes, sir, Jesus is Lord. Thank God. Hey, the word works. I want to talk to you about how you can receive your miracle every time and share with you why 95% of the believers don't ever get theirs met. Over in the 15th chapter of the Gospel of Matthew, beginning in verse 21, it says that there was this woman that came to Jesus, woman of Canaan. Let me get my glasses on where I can read this. It says, And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David, for my daughter is grievously vexed with the devil. Now, let me point this out. It said grievously vexed. She had a real problem. But now her problem in not receiving the first time that she came from God that she came to God was that she came based on her need and wasn't making any confessions or wasn't standing on the word, or all she was doing was stating her problem. Now, let me point out a couple of things here, please. It says she was a woman. You look that up in the original Greek, and she was a widow. She didn't have a family, and so she has this singular problem that women that are single have. She had a problem. She was a widow. She was a stranger, if you will. She had no covenant with God. She had nobody else to look to, so she goes to God. But she goes to God wrong. Now, I'm going to say this every day for a couple of days here. 95% or more of the Christians do it this way. They go to God wrong and they don't receive because they go based on their need rather than based on God's promises. Now watch, she's a woman. She has a great need. And this need's not even for her, so it's not a selfish prayer. People say, well, God won't answer selfish prayers. It's a good thing he does because most of our prayers are selfish. But what he doesn't do is he doesn't answer prayers that's based on need. It's got to be based on faith, and it's got to be based on the promises of God's word. So, have you ever gone to God and, didn't get your prayer answered? What you need to do is find out where you missed it. I'm going to say that again. If you've ever gone to God with a big prayer request, I've got a couple that I prayed. And so just yesterday, I went to God. I said, well, where did I miss it? And he showed me, and it made me mad because I didn't want to hear that. I wanted him to say, well, Grace, Grace takes care of all those stupid things that you miss. No. When he tells you what to do, then you do it. For instance, you're broke, ain't got no money, you ain't giving none away either. There are people been watching me for 8 years, never sent a dime. There are people been watching all of these men on television, never sent anything. Well, you can't get garden out of a plant, you can't get vegetables out of a garden that you didn't plant seed into. All you're going to get is cucumbers and Johnson grass and a bunch of weeds. You're going to have to plant something into the ground to get something out of the ground. I told you yesterday I got to put wood in the fireplace. I got to light it with a match. I got to give first before I can receive. Coffee. I got to put coffee in the coffee pot, put water in the coffee pot, turn the coffee pot on. I got to do my part first. This woman had the same issue that a lot of you are having. Well, surely God knows how bad I need that. Yes, he does. But he's not going to answer your prayer based on your need. Watch. Okay. She not only went to Jesus, let me go over here and read this, and he answered her not a word. She didn't get her prayer answered, and he didn't even answer her a word. Boy, in this woke society and this culture cancer society, they'd eat his lunch on that one. He answered her not a word. Then his disciples came unto Jesus, I'm reading out of verse 23, and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she crieth unto us. But he answered and said unto her, I am not sent unto the lost sheep of the I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He answered her not a word. She came to him with a great need. I want to say that again. Coming to God with a great need is not how you get your prayers answered. Crying after the disciples, what am I going to do, dear God? I do that yesterday. We were sitting in church yesterday, Easter Sunday, and I'm sitting there, and I was off on some other things, I guess, and I was sitting there saying, Lord, this thing that I've been praying about, I haven't received it, and what am I going to do about that? You know, I'm sitting there with that kind of an attitude. I don't know what's going on in church. The worship service had been great. My son, Pastor Mark, was doing a great job. And I'm sitting there going, what am I going to do about that? And I said, where am I missing this? And God spoke up and he said, you hadn't given me not 1 ounce of praise for that. I said, what? He said, you hadn't given me any praise for it. If you believed that you received when you prayed, then you would be praising me for it because you have it. I said, yeah, I got that. Now, I mean, I corrected that thing right there in church yesterday. I didn't get up and go running forward and fall on my face before God there at the altar before everybody else. I just changed that thing in my heart right there. I just changed it and said, I see that. I can change that. See, God gave us these things in his word so that you won't miss it. He answered her not a word. And then he came back when she cried after the disciples and said to her, it's not right for me to take from the children's bread. What's this? He said, I am not sent but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Now she comes the second time. We'll get into that one tomorrow. She came based on the promise, not based on the need, and she got her needs met. Got to go. Have a great day. You remember all day today, hey, word works. Jesus is Lord. Do it the word way. Receive it the word way. And always, every time, get your miracle from God. So remember, Jesus is Lord. Thank God the word works.